Yeah, I'm already sure
Yeah,
that.
he's back, fam.
I
Just
already,
ignore him. It doesn't matter. Of course. Take two. Take two. So you were saying you got injured.
yeah, so like it's like the 24th of March.
Mm.
So basically, I was running in my garden, and I landed on what's it, edge of a stair instead of the flat bit. So then that kind of just messed. I couldn't like I couldn't walk, and so like
Mad.
after about it
You're
was
careless, boy.
no, but I wait a bit. So like it took me about 4 weeks to get ready back from that, and then 2 days after that, I did it again. So
Whoa, find some
yeah,
hours to
I'm a bit
train.
of an idiot. So that happened, and so that it's taken about another 6 weeks, and I'm like slowly getting back to training.
Hmm. Have you done any sessions with John yet?
No, I've like John just said do like tempo stuff. Um, so I've been like this week I did like low intensity runs. Um, I haven't gone to the track yet. I'm really looking forward to going back because it's been like 2 months.
Yeah, it's
Like
been long.
that's have you been to Northern
I haven't
Park?
been to the track. I haven't been to Black and Bromley track. I've been to Norman Park, but I went to a track in Leighton yesterday with my other coach. Just
Hmm.
took quite long to get there because I actually got lost, and one of the entrances was shut, so it took me ages, like an hour and a half to get there or something like that. But once I got there, it was quite good. It wasn't like a full track; it was more like just a 60-meter straight. So we did like so a normal warm up drills, then we just did some accelerations. Because I'm a long jumper, we did like orientation runs, so it's kind of like a bit like your run up, but over like further distance. So you just practice the different parts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then there was like some big steps nearby, so we did some bounding and bits and bobs like that as well. So it was actually not too bad of a session, but I need to book a session at the track, but it's kind of expensive, isn't it? So,
Yeah, no, it's ten
yeah,
pounds. I mean, like
yeah,
that. I don't know because that kind of put me off at first,
yeah. But
but
I think if I go, I'll go with someone, and then obviously you can split it, can't you? It'll just be five and five. So it's a bit
mhm.
easier than just going on your own and spending the full whatever. Um, but yeah, it's not been too bad, and I've done loads of training anyways. My other coach has been doing like Zoom sessions. That's basically every day, bar Friday and Sunday, and then he's come up with like a training program, and then we've been just doing like actual training sessions over Zoom. So, for example, like so, what do we do on Monday? Monday's weights.
Mhm.
Monday's weights. So we all have like big resistance bands and kettlebells and stuff like that. Tuesday is like plyometric circuit, core circuit, and then we have runs in the afternoon. Wednesday, it's Grace. Wednesday we have like active recovery, so we do like all sorts of Swiss ball, medicine ball, stuff like that. So all kind of core based. Thursday's plyo and runs, and then Saturday's weights, and so we've done a lot. We've done a lot, and then Sunday's hill. So we do a
Mhm.
lot of training. So I actually feel fitter now than I did beforehand. I can't lie. So
That's
yeah, it's not
that's
too
like
bad. I kind of enjoyed it.
good. That's really good because I myself I feel a bit. I know I've put on a bit of weight, but like I haven't been able to do any like weights like conditioning wise. So I'm like I don't know. I feel fast. I feel like all right, but I don't feel I couldn't race. I could not go to a competition right now.
Oh
Even
yeah,
if there
no,
were any.
you can't do that. You can't go straight back into that sort of thing. But like fitness wise, I actually feel not too bad. Like if I was to go back to training, I feel like I'd be able to like keep up and stuff, and I feel stronger. My body feels stronger in general, so it's not been too bad. How are you feeling about the whole like GCSE and the results and everything like that?
Well, okay, so overall pretty confident because I did all right in my mocks, but just I just feel like the way it's gonna happen is kind of strange, but I guess like some people feel like it's gonna disadvantage them, but like, in certain subjects, like for example, if a teacher doesn't like you, I thought that in English, but they're saying that it has to go through like the head of department, so
Mm.
that's not necessarily an issue. But
Yeah,
overall, I mean, it's kind of taken away the stress that I would have.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we were doing it like in this period,
Yeah.
and I know like it's gonna be really weird getting grades without actually having to do anything or it to do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I guess the thing with GCSEs, if anything, they give you some sort of practice because you're doing A levels, aren't you?
mhm.
Which ones are you going to do? They were quite mathsy.
Maths, further maths, English and physics.
Yeah, so I guess with GCSEs, because there's so many exams over the same, over like a what month-long period, it kind of gives you that sort of experience regarding exams and big exams. So it'll be interesting to see if your like year group are advantaged or disadvantaged at all coming into like the A level exams, if that makes sense, because obviously you haven't had the GCSE kind of round, if that makes sense, to get
Yeah,
that sort of experience. I'm sure you'll be fine. I mean, you do athletics, so you have to compete and all that sort of thing anyway, so it's not deep, but
yeah. So you're doing IB, right?
yeah. Well, I
So,
would have finished. My
yeah.
exams would have finished on the 21st of May, so I would have already be done by now. But
What
yeah, I'd be for what, a year and a half, 2 years. Um,
2 years? And
yeah.
that's six subjects.
Huh?
That's six subjects.
Yeah, it's bad subjects, can't lie. It's so if anyone that doesn't know what an IB is, it's kind of like A levels but on steroids. So you have to do English, you have to do maths, you have to do a science, you have to do a language, you have to do a humanity, and then you have to do one more of your choice. Um,
So what was your choices?
so I did standard level English, standard level math studies, standard level French, and then higher level uh, psychology, biology, and history. Yeah, that's six.
Mm.
So yeah, it was pretty stressful, can't lie. And basically, when I said standard level is like kind of like AS, as in simple terms, and then higher level is a bit like A level. It's not like some subjects a bit harder, some subjects a bit easier. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it in basic terms. So it's probably you have a lot more on your plate than you do with A levels or B Tech or something like that. But it's manageable if you're organized and stuff like that, and you're fairly driven and stuff. So it's not too bad. But yes, it would have been. Yeah, my hairline would have probably receded quite a lot in this period because of stress and stuff like that. Because it would have been pretty
Yeah.
but I've still got a hairline at the moment because what I didn't have any exams. I've been playing FIFA and stuff, so it's not been too bad.
To be fair, mine's a bit iffy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So you get what are you going to uni? Like, what's next?
So I'm taking a gap year.
Right.
Um, so I'm taking a gap year. So I've done all my UK applications for university. Shut up, Grace, but what hairline? I've done all my UK applications. So I got into Birmingham, Loughborough, UCL, and LSE, and I put UCL first, and then Birmingham second. But then I'm taking a gap year, so I can do like a little bit of traveling. I kind of want to do some stuff abroad in France to do some work there because I can speak decent French, and possibly do some work in Africa and obviously train. And then also in my gap year, I'm going to apply to America, and then hopefully I'll get some American applications as well. I mean, some American offers as well, and then obviously I can choose between my UK and American options if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm kind of familiar with the American process because my school has people who kind of applied to there as well.
yeah. I mean, it's quite a big thing, especially with you see it a lot in athletics. You see a lot of kids applying to America, like what Ethan Brown,
Mm.
Amber, all of them. They've all applied and they're all successful. So yeah, it's a big change though. It's a massive change to UK, changing coach, changing scenery, changing environment, changing friends, everything. So it'll be interesting. I think some people it helps, some people it doesn't help. But yeah, that's kind of my plans. Have you thought any at all about uni, or you just take
Um,
sort of?
well, uni, I also want to like apply to America as well. But I'm not really. I don't know. I'm kind of yeah. I want to do something. I want to do something related to physics
Mm,
at uni, and because I want to specialize in astrophysics because like I'm really interested in space. But I used to be like a lot more into it, and I'm starting to slowly like recover that and potentially like um approach it for a career.
You see what
But I
it is?
mean,
America's slightly different to the UK. So, I mean, if anybody in the comments, or whatever, is also applying to America, then it's very different in the sense. So, in the UK, say I applied to UCL for history. In America, you don't apply. You don't just so say you don't apply to I don't know Duke. You don't apply to Duke to do maths or Duke to do English. You just apply to Duke, and then you're in the first couple of years, your study is a lot broader. So you have to do multiple subjects essentially. So you still have to carry on maths or English, something like that. So it's a lot broader. You don't specialize until the third and fourth years, I don't think, and that's when you do your majors and minors. So where in America.
Where American? Oh,
So
okay, so
my little short list I had initially was Cornell, Princeton, and Harvard, my big three. But that's because I want to do like a lot of academic work as well around it. I don't just want to go for my sport, if that makes sense. Because obviously that's only a limited amount of time. But if I can go to a big uni and get a really good degree alongside having a great athletic experience, I think that would be beneficial for me in the long run as well, if that makes sense. So those are my three. Mostly Ivy League as well because they hand out nice financial aid schemes. Because I need a lot of that. Because American unis are really, really, really expensive. Like
that's true.
yeah, like I think Harvard's like 70K or something like that a year, no financial aid. So yeah, it's massive. So the only way I can go is if I get a load of financial aid, like help from because my mum's a single mum and stuff, so low income family and stuff like that. So if they can help me out in that respect, that's the only way I can really go. But that's kind of the aim. Um, and yeah, to be honest. So not too bad, but I mean, if worse comes to worse, then I can obviously stay in the UK. I mean, it's not really worse, but go to like UCL, whatever, keep my coaches and things like that. Because that's another thing with athletes. Something that Dina did, I think. She stayed in the UK just simply so she could get a good degree and then do athletics on the side and keep her coaches. Because she kept John, didn't she? Because she was at King's.
Yeah.
So obviously that's another option. I think that's what a lot of athletes do because if you actually look at the success rate in America, it's actually not that like not that high from UK athletes. There's very few that actually transfer it from professional to professional from college, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah, I think when people go to America, they're not really used to like the coaching system. So some people can be overworked, and it kind of is kind of detrimental to their like progress as an athlete.
Definitely.
And that's why I don't know. You kind of the reason why people are good enough to like go to places is because of how they've been brought up with their specific coaches.
Mhm.
And if they change that system, they do run the risk of losing what has made them at that level. So I'm not really sure. Like America is like an attractive destination, but in order to like compensate your athletics, I'm not really sure if it's the best choice. But obviously, like
Especially, yeah, especially as like an individual, it's hard because I think American colleges they're very competition orientated, so they have their set competitions in the year, and then they aim as a school to win those competitions. Whereas it's not as big a focus on the individual. So that's why I think last year it was the world's last year, wasn't it? So, oh, what's his name? The Nigerian 200 meter runner. Do you know his name?
Divine or Didiro.
Yeah, that's it. He's at I can't remember what college he's at, but he ran like 19.86 or something like that at the NCAA's. But then when he went to the Worlds, because he'd been worked so hard during the season, he didn't have much left. So he ended up just scraping to the semis, and then he came last in the semis and ran like 20.7 or something like that because he just didn't have anything left. So that's another thing because yeah, the colleges are very about winning, winning, winning for their own rep rather than for the individual, like pursuing their individual dream, if that makes sense.
Thanks.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how people like Amber. I'm sure they'll do absolutely fine, but it'll be interesting to see how Amber and that end up doing. But yeah. So, how come I never knew? How come you changed from Tonbridge to Blackheath? I never knew that.
Um, so like okay, so I'm kind of like an observer. So at competitions, I'd see I'd see loads of like Blackheath athletes like together, and I'd see that like sense of community, and I felt like so before I was at Blackheath, I was at Tunbridge, and I was kind of I don't know. When I go to competitions, the only people I'd really know would be my coach and my parents, and I thought that yeah, I felt kind of alone. So like over the while, I started making friends like in the competitions, like my peers. No, my I moved clubs, and they just most of them happened to be from Blackheath, and then mid 2019, I was um, thinking about the future, right? So I would only be at Tunbridge till 2022, and Blackheath is closer. It might seem a bit counterintuitive because I'm at school most of the year, but I guess so a bulk of the training would happen when I'm in term time, but when it comes to focus competitions, I think being at home and not having to travel cumulatively 4 hours and getting home before 10 in the
Yeah,
holidays is quite good because you want to kind of want to have a good sleep.
yeah,
So I
cool.
think that contributed to me changing.
Makes sense. Fair enough. And I guess with Blackheath as well, because it's obviously in higher sort of divisions as well, you get kind of better competition in a sense. Because obviously you get like higher in the YDLs and bits and bobs like that, higher leagues and stuff. And so yeah, it's better in competitions in that respect, I guess as well.
Oh yeah, speaking about competitions, I was too young to go to Portugal. Like, how was it?
Yeah, man. Portugal was good, you know. Portugal was really good on an athletics basis and on a social basis. Because obviously you're forced to spend more time with people that you wouldn't normally see. Obviously, I mean, obviously I'm friends with people around the club, but I wouldn't see them like 4 days in a row and spend all my time with them. So it was nice in that respect. So obviously I got close with friends, and it was just really fun. And then on that basis, it was really good as well because you competed against people from all over Europe, so Netherlands, Portugal, Turkey.
Mm.
So, I mean, you meet different athletes, it's a completely different experience. And I just personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And there's quite a nice little, uh, I would say, it's kind of like team kind of, and community aspect of it as well. Because when you're in the stands, obviously everyone comes together to cheer the person on the track, whether they're doing 400 meters, pole vault, long jump, anything like that. So everyone kind of comes together. It's Josh. So everyone kind of comes together. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I really enjoyed it, and I would have liked to have gone again this year because it would have been my it would have been my last time because my last year was under 20.
Hmm.
But obviously Corona kind of messed that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been nice. But I really enjoyed it, and I think most people really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, it was good fun. I mean, I'm sure if they do another one, I'm sure you'll get a chance again in the future. And yeah, I think you'll really
Yeah.
enjoy
I think I've got another 3 years as under 20, so
it. Yeah.
I'll have my
So
chances.
when's your birthday?
April 10th. So I had it in
Oh,
lockdown.
that's a good enough. Fair enough.
It was a nice birthday, but could have been better.
What do you do? Just like watch film or something?
I actually I might have had a Star Wars marathon,
That's
but
it. Start. Hey.
no, I'm actually no, I'm obsessed. But and then I played a bit of cricket in the garden with my toe. That was nice, and my brother. It was all right, but
Star Wars. I've only watched what one Star Wars. I think. I think I watched one. You know the one. I think it's number six. When
Return of the Jedi.
yeah, when I was gonna say Luke Cage, when Luke Skywalker and
Luke Cage.
Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, like he kills him, doesn't he, or pushes him off the edge or something like that. That's like,
Yeah. I was about to. I'm not gonna go full Star Wars geek, but
yeah, don't do that.
Darth Vader throws Darth Sidious into a shaft, and
Yeah, that's
that's
literally
good.
the only thing I can remember. I used to love what was the black guy called with the purple lightsaber?
Mace Windu.
Yeah, I love that guy. That guy was so cool.
Yeah.
I had Lego Star Wars. That was one on my DS, but like that was it.
I had bought Lego Star Wars from my laptop, so I've been playing that this half term.
Nice
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars.
What you got to do something to pass the time.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. But fair enough. Fair enough. So obviously you train with John and you train with Dina. What are the kind of training sessions like? If that makes sense. Because obviously John's a very well known coach, and Dina's obviously a very well known athlete. So is that does that help give like her what extra push or anything, or what's it like?
Well, initially, like it was like, oh my god, I'm training with Dina,
Yeah.
so I was kind of like all the training sessions are kind of you kind of have to be at your best because you don't want to look bad
Yeah. It
because
probably feels
obviously
quite prestigious, doesn't it? Just being in
yeah
that sort of environment.
yeah no the training sessions are hard because that's expected if you want to compete at a certain level you kind of have to be hard you kind of have to have hard training sessions
Yeah, of
but
course.
I don't know I guess they're challenging, they're hard, but they're fun. Like there is always an aspect of fun, and I think that kind of is the retention factor for athletes. Like you can't just do athletics because oh I want to run this time. You've got to have fun doing it, And I think John's sessions had the perfect mix of fun and like being hard, and so that's why I enjoy it.
And is there a bit of like a technical aspect as well? Because obviously the sessions are hard, so they push you physically, but it does John like help you with technique and bits and bobs like that? So have you felt like your technique has improved as you've moved there and things like that? Or yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd say that I used to, well, knee lift is something that I've always like had a problem with,
Mm,
and I think if you look at my races from, so I started training with John in mid-July
yeah.
2017. If you look at my races from August and then you look at ones in February, there's a distinct change. And I think there's certain cues that I've kind of had a mental block towards, but that's kind of been like I've kind of lost certain like aversions to those, and so now I think I'm more efficient. So like I can, you know, my I've had longer stride length, but that's also because of the conditioning and the strength training. So that's kind of all morphed into something that is made me better as an athlete, I
Yeah,
think.
of course.
And you kind of have to take everything in and take notes, I guess, and use that in your when you're doing certain reps
Mhm.
because yeah, you kind of have to make it muscle memory.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got to make things what subconscious in a sense, because I kind of get you as well because I moved coach last summer, and he has a much stronger technical aspect than my previous coach, and he was like, we need to fix this and this and this, and sometimes you just get mental blocks, you just can't do anything about it, and you really have to work hard to make it subconscious before you can kind of move on to the next thing. Because
Hmm.
I guess you probably found as well. Sometimes you would get one thing right, but then you'd get something else wrong, and then you'd get
Yeah,
that
yeah,
next thing right, and you'd get that other thing wrong, and it's kind of frustrating and quite tedious, I feel. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And I guess once you get that, that's where your main like big improvements are gonna come forward, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah. Have you got any like? Have you got any big? Because obviously this season's kind of a bit. This season's a bit kind of written off. I reckon there'll be a couple of opens and bits and bobs like that. Do you have any like big plans for next year or anything like that? Or any?
next year is the season.
Yeah, next year is a season. I mean,
Well, because I'm under 18 still, I think maybe the European under 18 championships. That's my goal.
yeah.
Um, I like to run like either 1 or 200 or in the relay. But I'm not sure if they select purely for relay. But that would be quite cool
They might do.
because
Never, I can't. I can't. You'd have to ask like Michael. I think Michael. Michael. You know Michael Fagbenley. Do you know Michael?
yeah.
Yeah, I think he went to Euros last year to do the four by four. So I think they do take just relay runners. For big competitions like that, they want to do as well as they possibly can, I guess. So
Hmm.
yeah, if you want to go for relay, I'm sure you have a quite high chance. So one, two, and
One or two and relay.
have you ever
Because
thought of doing a 400 or not? Is that your
I haven't actually done one ever, and
uh,
I'm not
scary
planning to.
thing?
Well, actually, no, I had a bit of a scare. Like I was talking to John, and we were doing like longer runs. He was like, we were talking about the Southern Athletics League. This was supposed to be like early April, and
Yeah.
so Dina was going to do a 4x4, and I was like, oh yeah,
Really?
I should do one
Wow.
as well. And then John was like, yeah, we can sort that out, and like because I said it like kind of straight face. He didn't think I was joking, and so now like I'm scared that at some point I'm gonna have to do a 4x4. Yeah, no, Grace, I'm really not looking forward to it.
I remember my first one. I've only done. Well, I did maybe like three or four last year, and then the year before that I did about two. So when I was in your year group, I did about two. My first one, I kind of got it wrong. I was so scared of dying. I jogged literally the first 300, and then I got to 300, and I was like, it's actually a race. I need to sprint. So I just sprinted the last one, got like 52 something, and I was like, oh. And then the second time I did it, I think Grace was where when I did this. Ah, I went so hard on the first 200 because I thought I jogged it the last time. I went through 200 in like 22 or something like that. And I got to 250 and I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. So you've got to be really, really careful with 400s because they can just kill you. Because I remember the last 300 was so painful. I was on the floor for like 15 minutes. It was nasty. So if you do one, just ask coach how the best way to run it is, and then you'll be safe. Just don't just try and think you're going to get it right yourself because otherwise you're just going to end up on the floor for about 20 minutes in pain.
Yeah, no, I think race technique is quite important, and that's something that I am very bad at doing. I can't. I can't keep certain things in my head, and I reckon I just mess up. And I don't want to die. Like 200s are a bit long for me. Well, the
200s are
ECC
really long.
people.
200s are long. I didn't realize how long 200s were, but they're long.
It's actually 200 indoors. Like I fell over at the end of the last one
I
because I
filmed
was
it, bro. I filmed it and sent it to you.
yeah, no, that was embarrassing. I think I have like a tendency to fall over. Like
Yeah.
it's not great. Like I think I messed up my wrist, so for like a full like month I couldn't do any push-ups, and that was a
Really?
big problem. Yeah, and I couldn't go anywhere because of like to doctors because of the coronavirus. So
Mhm.
I was it wasn't great.
Did you? So obviously, so what body part did you say you injured earlier on in quarantine? You said you kind of
My toe.
your toe. So have you done like core work and bits and bobs like that instead?
No, yeah, that's been like the basis of my training in quarantine. So I think my core has got a bit better than it was before quarantine, but I mean, I kind of find it hard to stay motivated because there's no like
Yeah,
definite thing to work towards.
yeah, of course.
For other people, I guess there would be like, say, Dina, she has the Olympics next year. There's a definite date for that. But English schools, which is something I was looking forward to,
Yeah,
is cancelled this year. Like there's still stuff that is planned this year season, but I realistically don't think I'll compete because I don't know, just losing 2 months of training and then more like there's an undetermined amount of proper training that I'll miss anyway because of quarantine. So yeah, I think I might be a bit injury prone and quite clumsy, but
yeah.
yeah, I can sort that out.
I guess the only thing really that will go ahead this year is I reckon there'll probably be a couple if everything kind of goes to plan, there's not another like spike or anything like that. I think there might be a couple of opens and bits and bobs like that, maybe in August and September, maybe just to give people a chance to do something. They rescheduled the British champs for like mid-August, so obviously that will go ahead if everything's um, goes to plan, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I get what you mean about the motivation aspect of things. Like one of the reasons I feel like I've still had motivation to do stuff is because I've been doing it in a group. So obviously you've been like I'm quite a self-motivated individual anyway, but it kind of helps you anyway if you're just doing stuff with people. You don't feel like you're so isolated, if that makes sense. There's a bit more. There's a good social aspect to it that you would have at like in your training group or something like that,
hmm
which is quite nice, I think. But yeah, cool. So
So I've heard that your mum is an official. How did like she get into? How did you get into it?
my mum's cooking now, but yeah. um, mum, I think. Well, my understanding of it is mum became an official because I was obviously traveling around to competitions and everywhere like that, all over
Mm.
the place with YDLs, and this is back like when I was doing Kent League, so like under 15 and bits and bobs like that. So obviously it was moving around, and some days I'd literally be doing. Well, when I was like under 13, she would watch because I was doing like 4x1, long jump, 200, 100, like loads of events.
Yeah.
And things like under 15, under 17, I was more specialising into, at the bigger competition, more into like one or two events, so long jump and a relay or something like that. So it was a long way to go to, say, Reading or Norwich or something like that, even Birmingham for like British Athletics League, to just do one event and then be there
Mm.
all day. So I guess mum got involved, so it would give her something to do during the day. She could still obviously see me while I was doing some stuff and being an official gets points for the team. So I think it doesn't get like 6 points or something like that.
Yeah, I did it because the club needed volunteers. Because otherwise, if you haven't got volunteers, you can't go to you can't put the events on.
Yeah, okay. So, and also
So
the
it
clubs
helps
need.
for all the other athletes to have volunteers, so that events can be run.
Right. So basically, the club needed volunteers essentially because if you look at all the competitions as well, no one's really paid for them. I think mostly older people tend to do it, and they're all volunteers and doing it out of their own generosity and time. So I guess I just wanted to help out with that sort of thing to keep the events going. Because if you don't have the volunteers, you can't have any of the events, and they're obviously really important. Um, So yeah, I guess those are the sort of reasons why. And obviously it helps with bits things like wide your finals and bits and bobs like that when it's
Yeah.
one year. I think my under 13 year, so my final under 13 year, we lost in the wide your finals by 1.5 points. So obviously, if Mum had been an official then, we would have obviously got the 6 points and we would have won. But
Oh,
Mum wasn't
that's.
by then. Mum wasn't officiating then. But yeah, it's just one of those things really. And it's kind of nice. Everyone kind of knows who my mum is. And she gets something out of the day as well. Meeting new people. meets other athletes that I compete with. Um, so yeah, I think for the most part she enjoys it and is good. So yeah, I guess that's how she came part of it. Um, don't know if she'll continue when I'm in like under 23s and things like that, because I'll be under 23s next year.
Yeah, I get that.
Big man. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, maybe at British Athletics Leagues and things like that. Just depends on how many events I'm doing, but and if they need the help, because British Athletics Leagues are a bit more full when it comes to officials, because they're bigger than say a Kent League or a YGL or something like that. I'm sure you'll start doing British Athletics Leagues as well. They're quite good fun, but they're all adults, so
Yeah.
you feel small. But yeah, I guess so. That's how she came a part of it. But yeah, cool.
Wait, how did you come to join the club in the first place?
Me,
Yeah.
so what's I joined Blackie? When I joined Blackie, for like year 7, year 6,
From bees.
from B, something like that. So I used to do loads and loads of different sports, and I did Bees Academy here and there, like once or twice a week. Um, because that's for the younger age groups and stuff like that. So I did that every so often, and that was quite good fun. And then I went to an indoor. I got selected from Bees to go to this indoor competition at Crystal Palace. Me and my friend Kalen. He doesn't go there anymore, but he used to be at Blackie for Bromley quite a lot. He was a hurdler, and we got
Mhm.
invited to do this thing Crystal Palace against other London boroughs. So obviously we were Bromley, and then they had like Hackney, Newham, other bits and teams like that. And I was
Yeah.
putting triple jump, standing triple jump, because I was in like year 6, and some relay because it was indoors. And I ended up winning the triple jump, and then became joint first in the relay. And Paul Patton, who's now retired, but one of the coaches at Blackie, he was there like, oh, do you want to come and join our jumps group? And I was like, yeah, I'll come and join. So I came one Saturday, and I was the only person there. So I ended up doing a one-to-one session with Paul, which I really, really liked.
Hmm.
Then, yeah, so kind of like the year 6, when I was in year 6, I did the under 30 athletics season. And I just continued from there. I only live like 10-minute drive from the track, so it's pretty local. So I wasn't going to go to like Tunbridge or Herne Hill or somewhere like that. And obviously it has quite a good rep as well. Um, so yeah, although I don't do all my training at Blackheath and Bromley, I do probably about 50% of my training at Blackheath, 50% of my training at Lee Valley. It's still it's still nice to have a local facility that I can still go to, and obviously I'm kind of well known around the track and the club and things like that as well because I've made friends there and stuff like that. But yeah, it all kind of started with the Bees Academy thing. So I ended up joining quite early, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, slightly different to your story, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
joining.
I've been there quite a long time.
Mhm.
And only recently changed coaches. I had Paul since I was in year 6, and I'm now year 13. And I changed from Paul to my other coach John in year 12 last year. So I had Paul for 6 odd years. Um, so yeah, he's a bit like an uncle, but like an
Yeah. I
uncle.
completely get that. But I mean, I can't really relate because I've kind of switched coaches quite a bit.
Mm,
But yeah, that's something that I've kind of stopped
yeah.
doing
I mean, I
because
guess Paul used to do my long jump and my sprints, and then my other coach, my sprints coach at the moment, Roy Dickens, he came along because he used to coach with John Blackie,
mhm.
but then made his own separate group. Um, and I went into that one in 2018 season. So yeah, I've been probably around like 3 coaches, but those 2 were my main 2, and John's really just kind of come into the picture. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I ended up joining. And now athletics is like the only sport I do. I kind of specialise after GCSEs. I used to do a lot of rugby and football and basketball and things like that as well. Um,
Yeah, I've kind of so I've specialised as well, but I mean, like going when it was in year 9, I did rugby and then football and then athletics. But I think I went about it really obnoxiously. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to play for your rugby team because I do athletics, and I was just being kind of like public enemy number one about it.
yeah,
Um, but I think doing other sports at the same time isn't great because it was like um, this is 2018. I played hockey against Eton, and this guy decided to actually no, it wasn't purposely, but he whacked the ball into my foot, and so basically it wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah.
I'd over dramatize it, but the week after we had this compulsory 5K run, and
Oh, I hate those. I don't know why schools do those stupid compulsory stuff. I hate
yeah,
it.
I don't know. It's just weird. I got out of it last year, but actually no, I didn't. I did it last year. I was gonna get out of it this year, but I think it got postponed. But then basically I just milked the injury for a week. But the thing is, like, it disrupted my training. So I just don't think doing other sports at the same time is beneficial. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, you can do it up to, I think, especially like specializing after GCSE is like the best way to do
yeah,
it.
definitely.
But yeah, it's just not safe, especially like rugby. Like, you can see with like Wade van Niekerk, he played a rugby game, and
Yeah.
that now hopefully he gets back to where he was, but it's really put a like damper in his over his legacy, I'd say.
No, I get what you mean. He's just been out of the game a bit, hasn't he? But yeah, I think specialising after GCSEs is the best thing because I think again it's like subjects with a lot of sports you don't really know which one you're going to do and also which one you're going to be best at a
Hmm.
younger age. So I did a lot of basketball, football, and rugby, and then stopped the basketball and football when I moved to Whitgift in year 10. So then in year 10, year 11, I was only doing athletics and rugby, but then they kind of clashed. So I was doing rugby at Fairley, so I was at Saracens for a bit. So they were, I ended up getting concussed just before the 2018 season, because from a rugby game playing sevens.
Yeah.
So in a sense, when you start to get older, they tend to clash, and it's very hard to balance both, if that makes sense, or multiple sports whatever you're doing. But I think it's good to continue multiple at a younger age, because obviously it gives you more experience, and yeah, you kind of have longer to decide which one you enjoy most, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah. But yeah, as you say, you only do athletics now. I only do athletics now. And then if we get injured, that's our own fault, like you,
Yeah.
because it's an individual sport at the end of the day. So yeah, you can't exactly blame someone else hitting a ball into your foot or hitting you in the face with a hockey stick or pushing you when you go for a layup or something like that. It's all kind of based on you.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Have you had any like injuries, like any bad ones?
from athletics or sport in general,
Athletics.
they've all been kind of spin-offs from other sports apart from last year. So my first big injury was 2016. So I got pushed over in a Saracens game and I went over on my ankle. But then it was a tournament, so I just played through it. And then yeah, I just played through it and it was hurting, but then it kind of went away as the day progressed. Um, and then that kind of flared up again in the athletic season because I damaged the ligament and I never let it heal because I continued playing the sport on it. And then before the inter-counties, which is like the preliminary stage to English schools, I ended up rolling my ankle in the warm-up. Then went out and competed. I ended up jumping a PB and qualifying for schools on the day, so I was so gassed.
Hmm.
And then
But then
um,
the injury.
when I was walking home, my ankle was smashed up. Like, it was so bad. And I was out for about 2.5 weeks, had about a week left before English schools, went back to training, and I landed on it funny again. So I went to English schools where I could barely walk, tried competing, and I was like, I'm just going to firm it, like, I'm going to be strong, whatever. Um, Warmed up when it was hurting. Then I did my first round jump, went to jumped, there was a no jump, and then at that point my foot was just finished, so I couldn't do anything else. My other two attempts were just rubbish. I ended up coming like 21st or something like that, and I came last because my ankle was just messed up. That saved me for about a year and a half. That was really bad, and I no longer have that ligament in my ankle. Like, it's disintegrated
Oh
because
God.
it wouldn't heal. It didn't heal, so it's just disintegrated. I had a ultrasound last week. No, not last week, last year, and the guy showed me it, and he was like, you got that ligament on your left leg, but not on your right leg." And I was like, "Right, I know where that's from." And he was like, "Yeah, most likely." Um, and then last year wasn't like one big injury, but I had just multiple injuries. So I had bad shin splints in both legs, a back injury, and then an ankle injury. So I had 4 injuries all at the same time, and I tried doing a season on that, and yeah, just I was in a lot of pain for about 3 months. And then it got to about August time, and it started to fade away. Um, but yeah, the ankle injury from 2016, that was the biggest injury I've had. But I've never broken a bone, you know. I've never broken a bone.
Yeah, neither. It's
Yeah, I've never broken a bone.
a nice club to
Touch
belong
wood, touch
to.
wood, touch wood. Um, but yeah, have you ever had any like big injuries or anything like that? Or
So wait, was the 2016 your first English schools, or was it
yeah, it was
just?
my first English
Yeah,
school.
okay, so my
Yeah, it was
first
so
English
bad,
schools,
man. Oh,
my first
sucks.
English schools went similarly. So I basically I a week, 2 weeks before, we had actually no, a week before we had sports day at school, and 2 days
Oh, good.
the week of that, I was doing high jump because I was, I'm tall. Let me do some high jump. So I did it. I was jumping all right, but then I landed on the bar, and that just did something weird to my back,
Yeah, it
and
hurts so much when you land on the bar. It hurts so much.
exactly, yeah. So that happened, and then sports day came it came. So and they have weird timetables. So they'd have the 200, then 30 minutes later the 100, then the long jump at the
Oh,
same time, and then the relay. So I did the 200. I ran quite well. I broke a school record, but
man.
then I had a bit of a problem in my left quad, and I was like, yeah, this is just because I didn't really warm up well.
Mm.
It's fine. So then I did the 100, and the quad got worse. And then I tried the long jump, and I jumped like 3 meters, and I was like, you know what? No, this isn't happening. And this is the week before English school, so I didn't train that whole week. I went to the team meeting, and went up to collect my vest, and I was walking ridiculously slowly, so no one could see that I was limping. And then so that was the Monday of the week. And then on the Thursday up, I was like, okay, it's been a week. Like surely everything's fine. Got up to Birmingham, and I'm like, everything's okay. I'll go to the warm area, Birmingham. Everything's okay. I don't push it too much because it's a heat. I just need to be like in kind of the right mind frame, but like not in the zone, because I expected to get into the final because I was ranked like I was number 4 or something in the country then, and the number one of the people in the top 4 were doing 200 instead. So I was hopefully going to medal. So I go into my heat, and I know this is it. This is English schools, and I get out the block. Oh, no blocks. So just out my start, and I'm leading like with 50 meters to go, and then I realize I'm only using. Like I can't lift my left leg. Like I can't. So I'm running with like half a leg, half my leg in hand. Everyone passes me, and yeah, it's just a bit sad because I expected to come third in the competition. I came third in my heat, and
Yeah.
that was a bit embarrassing. I was out for the rest of the season, and I didn't compete. So that was July. I didn't compete until January, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes it gets like that though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that I think that kind of changed my like athletics for the better, because after that I wasn't so like arrogant. I wasn't thinking, oh, I can do this. I really took more concern about like what I was doing. Well, I say that, but I'm injured now. I say that, but yeah, I took more concern about everything, and I really used that to like fuel my winter training. And then I came back, and I was like ranked like number 10, and a year below. So like it kind of paid off.
Yeah. Yeah, I think big injuries like that and setbacks like that actually help. I mean, in the second, you're just like, oh, why has this happened to me? This is my first time. Da, 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 da. Like, oh, I could have done so much better. But then, when you look back on it, it actually helps you an awful lot. I know my injury helped
Mm.
me an awful lot as well. So yeah, I think a lot of athletes experience that sort of thing. You just got to be able to deal with it. And I think some people can deal with it, and others can't. I mean, you see a lot of kids who do really well at under 15s, whatever, they'll have like one loss and then you'll never see them ever again, because they just obviously can't deal with the sort of they can't deal with the what's the word? They can't deal with the setback.
Yeah,
Word, but they can't deal with it. So yeah, this is one of the things really. But yeah, I'm glad it's helped you, and yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, we don't get any big ones like that in the future because they're just not.
yeah. I
They're
mean,
not great, man. I mean, going out for like a year and a half or out until missing like the next half of the whole season isn't great at all. But it's the next thing, isn't it? You just got to live and learn, live and learn.
It makes you grow as a person as well,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
yeah, it helps you like employ like resilience and determination. So hi, Michael.
It's useful as well. I think that's one of the things that what do you call it? That sport gives you. It helps you in not in everyday life and bits and bobs like that. So like if you go for an interview and you fail in the interview, oh well, like you just prepare better for the next one. Like whereas other people would be end up crying and stuff like that, and it's just like
Hmm.
no need to cry, mate. Like yeah, it's one of them ones.
Hmm.
Well yeah, all good.
Yeah. All right.
Cool, cool.
I don't really have
So
any more questions, I guess.
no, neither. Do you have any? Are you just going to continue just training at home and bits and bobs, or have you got any like sessions planned for with John? Um, or you're buffering. I said you're buffering.
Right. Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I said, are you just going to continue like training at home and doing core and bits and bobs like that, or are you gonna have you got any sessions planned with John now or anything like that, or just
So the last week I've been doing tempo runs, and a bit of endurance. I'm gonna keep that up for another week, and then I think, so this will be the week commencing the 8th. I think I'm gonna book a like track session, and I'll do the tempo runs on the track,
yeah,
and then I think after a whole month of like this period, I think I'll go back into like potentially like high intensity sessions,
yeah, of course.
because yeah, I don't want to rush it, because like we've got ages of time.
Yeah, you don't want to mash yourself up again and get injured.
Hmm.
You don't want to do that.
That would not be great.
Man, so how are you getting injured in quarantine? It's like the ultimate point in which you're able to recover from injuries, and you got injured.
I'm
John
actually no,
guy.
I'm super clumsy. I think I've had an injury like every year apart from 2019. I'm not sure what happened in 2019, but yeah, I just like little injuries. I'm the king of them.
Yeah, niggles,
Yeah.
little niggles. That's what my coach calls them, niggles. But yeah, good. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're keeping up to speed and everything. I'm glad that your toe is healed as well. Just don't get injured again. Don't run into a fence or anything stupid.
I'm not gonna run into a fence.
Well, I don't know if you might do. You might end up doing that or something. But yeah. But yeah, nice to speak to you.
Yeah, no, it's been
Um,
good.
and yeah, cool. Maybe we'll have another chat or anything like that, another catch up at some point. Um, but yeah, nice to speak to you, and yeah, cool. I'm glad you're all good.
All right,
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
see you, mate.
Take care.